In other words, if we believe it, and inherent in that teaching is if you believe it enough, then God will give you a miracle. But that is terribly short-sighted. Faith is important. Scripture talks about faith being important in seeing God work, supernaturally or otherwise. But it is far from the only issue. Listen, the greater issue is God's sovereignty. What is at issue is not what God can do. He can do anything. The larger issue is what God will do, what He intends to do, according to His sovereign plan. And that is vitally important to understand, because what happens, the difference there is it makes God the one who determines when He will act miraculously, not you or me. And if you play around with this truth, as I said, you will get yourself into all sorts of trouble. Follow the logic. When you start to think that God performing a miracle depends mostly or solely on your faith, then you begin to question if you have enough faith. And then, in desperation, if the miracle doesn't come, you begin to wonder what is wrong with your faith. Or worse, what is wrong with someone else's faith. And all of that is a problem. Can you imagine looking at the mother who has lost a child to say, you just didn't believe enough or do enough for God to answer? The very thought of that is not only cruel, it's foolish.